happy
Here we go.
fall. I mean, it is officially fall in Lynchburg. I mean, I know like soup season is here.
We had chicken noodle at the JPL.
Oh,
Guys.
wow.
Chicken noodle at the JPL the other night.
Nana's
Isn't
that a dance?
homemade
Chicken noodle.
with a little fresh bread.
Did you put little French bread? Yeah. What's your seasoning stuff you put on everything?
Little Tony's.
Little
Tony's
seasoning?
are little Tony's.
Who is Tony? I have completely converted my porch to my fall
decor. Fall decor is out.
So I go to Lowe's yesterday and I'm like, yeah, I need a barrel of hay, and I'm thinking it's like going to be like
barrel
a little
of
hobby.
Hay? Did you say barrel?
Not barrel.
Barrel.
What is
barrel?
it called?
Barrel.
I get a couple barrels of hay.
It's not what a bale. A bale. Not a barrel. Maybe
Country
that's
girl.
why they gave me one so big.
Country girl, Emily.
She's just been living that country life.
That's why you know my porch is like completely
that
fake.
country life.
No. So a bale of hay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's just going to be like the ones that you get at Hobby Lobby that are just like the little smaller ones.
No, it's a real
This thing, I put it on my shoulder and I'm like throwing it into Jason's truck.
Is it on your front porch?
It is taking over my front porch. They're massive. But my flowers look so pretty. I even put like these little things for deer to stay away from my mom's. They ate all of them last night.
Yes, mum season.
Mum season. There's a deer spray.
But so the porch is all fall, festive now.
Here's what I know.
Like it is here. Fall is here.
Here's what I know.
What's that?
Matt Warner, my good friend Matt Warner, is a really big pumpkin spice latte guy.
No.
I mean, that guy loves. He loves
you give
a
me
scarf.
some pumpkin muffins.
He loves a warm scarf.
Oh.
A pumpkin
Some
muffin.
Uggs. Maybe wearing some Uggs.
I do
Some
have.
Uggs.
Yeah, scarf.
A scarf.
Right.
Oh my
Put the
gosh,
pumpkin
elaborate.
spice latte in my Stanley mug.
And then just give him a good
Pinky out.
give him a good Hallmark movie, and he is
out.
done.
So you nailed me.
City
to a
girl
T.
moved to-
Absolutely.
You are so soft. It's great.
Are you guys just having a
it is
conversation
great.
with yourself?
No.
Hey guys, just to let you know, we do talk some football and Liberty athletics here on the Flame Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage. Our guest today is none other than Liberty head football coach Jamey Chadwell. Great conversation with him. If you're one of those social media trolls that we should have been killing this team by 50, he has a little word for you. Well, no, he wasn't talking to you guys at all, but and he gives us some the pie eating contest. Is this like the 5th or 6th annual? It might be.
I think Alcova
pie. He gives some.
I'm gonna power that thing.
Okay, just power it.
I'm
Joe's like, I think I'll power that.
I'm gonna power that pie.
Hey.
Let's power that.
I'm buying the pies. I'm buying the pies.
I will put I'll put the pies on my Liberty credit card. You need to buy the costumes, the Halloween costume. Don't say what they are. We are going to have a podcast.
It's a lot cheaper for me to buy pies.
It is a lot cheaper. Yeah.
How did I get roped into that one?
You'll switch your route.
Just buy the pies. Buy the pies. Buy the Halloween costume. All right, fine. I'll buy the Halloween costume.
Okay, thank you. We have it on air. But first, Matt is putting us to the test with
After I run
some
the
graded
Right.
PFF offense and defense.
We're 5 games in. We're basically halfway-ish point, right? And with this big layoff, we thought that's a good stopping point to kind of reflect a little bit. So we get the PFF grades every week for Liberty, as well as just the season in total. So I want to ask you guys.
Oh, wait, I get this. So
No, you can't look at the email. Your best guesses. Top 3 graded players on the offensive and defensive side through 5 games.
What do they grade them on?
The PFF grade. So for instance, like for an offensive lineman, overall, then they would grade them run blocking. They would grade them pass blocking. For a receiver, it would be same thing. You get blocking, you get receiving, you get whatever.
I'm
so
going
it's all
first
different
for
categories.
offense.
So you want to go for offense?
Jordan White has the highest grade.
Jordan White has the 3rd highest grade. He's the highest graded.
He's got one right.
Highest graded offensive lineman. He's played 354 snaps, the most on the team. He's also the highest graded run blocker. So 100 is the top that you could get. He grades out at 82.8 overall.
Oh, wow.
88 in run blocking. Jordan White.
Okay, what about
there's
you?
2 people ahead of him that they grade. Again, these are the PFF grades.
Are we each having
I'm
to say
sure,
3?
No, just name 3 people
You
out.
take 3 offense, I take 3 defense. However you want to do it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
No, I'll do on offense.
Okay.
Okay.
Quentin Cooley.
Quentin Cooley's number 1.
I was just I said Cooley on my sheet.
That's why I stole it.
Yeah,
You looked at my sheet.
83.5 is his grade, playing 183 snaps. Quentin Cooley is
looking
number
at my
1.
sheet.
Number 2 might be a little surprising, not in terms of who it is, but just
Wait.
based off of.
I'm gonna guess.
Okay.
Bentley Hanshaw.
No.
I was thinking Brent or like.
So am I taking a shot at this now?
Yeah.
Did you tell us the position?
All right.
No, we give it away.
Okay.
Reese Smith.
No, Reese Smith is the highest graded receiver, though, at 75.1.
Caden Salter.
Caden Salter.
Yeah, I was going to say Salter.
82.9, playing 348 snaps. Yeah, he has been the second.
All right, let's go
graded.
defense.
All right, defense.
Okay, defense.
You go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
TJ Bush.
TJ Bush, number 3.
Oh, man.
Okay.
77.4. He's played 255 snaps, second most on the team, only behind,
Bryce Dixon.
Actually, a Corey Jones, number 1, most snaps played, 276.
Really?
So Bush has played the second most. His pass rush grade, 79.1, the best among anybody with more than 10 pass rushes. So,
All right,
yeah,
go, Emily.
Bryce Dixon.
No.
No, okay, good. Back to me.
Yeah.
CJ Bazille.
No.
What?
Not top 3.
Oh, okay. Go, Emily.
Joe Carter.
No.
Christian Bodner.
He's number 1.
He's man.
Christian Bodner.
Oh, my Yacht
Wow, good job,
Yeah.
Yacht.
Nailed it again.
89.3 grade in 176 snaps, and his 80.6 grade in terms of coverage, pass coverage, number 1 on the team as well.
Yeah, tell the folks where you heard it first.
Christian Bodner.
It's that Yacht Talk.
And he had the play that sealed, and he sealed the FIU game
Yes.
with that corner blitz.
Oh,
So
my
yeah,
gosh.
he has been. I think he's been like a really, surprise story a little bit this
Yeah,
year,
we
especially the
didn't
last few
really-
weeks.
yeah, we
didn't
didn't-
hear a ton about him, and he has exploded.
He is really,
So
really.
one more. He's a
One
fan
more,
favorite.
Emily.
Okay.
Yeah, I know who it is.
You know who it is.
Go ahead. Get it.
Fan favorite.
This is great to watch you stress.
Brylan Green.
Brylan Green.
Oh, she
Brylan Green. 80.2. He missed the game, but he still played 198 snaps. Yeah. And I believe he has the second best coverage grade in terms of pass coverage
I
on
knew
this
it.
team. So there you go.
I knew it all.
So there you go.
See, I had it right here,
He's
Brylan.
powered by.
I mean, a couple of guys powered by Alcova Mortgage, both in the top 3.
Yeah.
Coincidence?
Oh,
I don't think so. They also happen to be on Joe's fantasy team.
I
yeah.
think not.
Yeah.
Thank you very
That's a
much.
flamethrower if you're
And those
not
guys
watching.
who are on Powered by Alcova Mortgage, you know what they do? They go to alcova.com/liberty,
right.
baby.
What happens there?
Well, what happens there is you want to save big money because you could be a refinance market we're in right now. And you go there, Liberty University employees, staff, alumni, up to 1% credit, up to $5,000 towards your closing costs. This isn't 10% off at the Jiffy Lube.
No.
Okay.
No.
This isn't, hey, I just saved $8 at the
buy
Jiffy
one,
Lube.
get half off. No,
Yeah, this ain't buy one, get one half off. This ain't, we're not going down to Payless to get some shoes.
No.
Okay, we're
Payless shoes ain't gonna grip, make you fall and bust your lip.
I don't even know where that came from.
Wow, that shoe's
We're
real
talking,
quick with
folks,
that.
we're talking
Yeah.
up to $5,000 on your
Well,
closing cost. Off your closing costs at closing. So if you needed $20,000 at closing, you only could need 15 now, whatever it may be.
Is that easy?
almost
Whenever my
Too easy.
Too easy.
Whenever my mom would be like, "Oh, we're going to get shoes for new school year," and she'd
always
take us to
Payless.
Payless, and we're
Yeah.
like, "Payless shoes ain't gonna grip, make you fall and bust your
Aren't they
lip."
bankrupt? I don't even think they exist anymore. That's
She
why.
still
That's
makes
probably
us
why.
buy our
Yeah,
shoes.
that's
I
true.
hope they're
Yeah.
bankrupt.
Yeah.
because
Okay,
Ooh.
so
their stock just tanked. Yeah. If they're not really bankrupt. Yeah.
we're going to do bold predictions.
Go ahead, Em.
I just feel like completely like not.
predictions,
I'm not
go.
a part of the.
Oh, do those at the end.
No, we're gonna do those at the end after our conversation with head coach Jamey Chadwell.
Bam.
You know it's going to be a great interview when Coach Jamey Chadwell joins the show. Coach, you guys have had a lot of time off. Tell me how many pumpkin patches you've been
Yeah,
to.
you picked up
some
new hobbies?
little fall
Nice.
festivals.
I tell you what, it has been very unique. So we did go to a festival. The one I won't mention the one we went to. It wasn't very good.
Call them out. Call them out.
No,
Coach.
don't call
No,
them out.
don't call them
we
out.
love all
them
of the
out.
area.
Was it at the yacht compound? No.
Yeah.
Then went did a little hiking, did some outdoor stuff, and then just spent some time around. So
Did you go to
it's
Shark
been
Top?
beautiful. We attempted to.
Okay.
I'll put it that way. When
It's
you have
tough at the
when you have different ages of your
Yeah,
kids and all,
yeah,
you
yeah.
attempt to do certain things.
It's
And
tough.
then once we found out that we got there too late to catch the tram back down, which is like so we had to do some wisdom.
Audible.
Had audible, had a little wisdom, but beautiful. Obviously, the weather's been great, and it has been unique though because you don't know sometimes when you plan for it, it's one thing. Hey, we know we're off.
Right.
Yeah.
When you don't have some of those, it's a little bit different. But hopefully, families and everybody, players, all right. Hey, we got away. We can recover a little bit.
Yeah.
We can get away from football and hopefully get our minds right for this stretch run.
Coach, Crabtree Falls.
Okay.
go to Crabtree Falls.
Yeah,
take the
definitely
family.
go on a Saturday at 10 a.m.
Take the family.
I promise there
take
won't
the
be anyone
family
else there with
to
the
the
same
top
idea.
at Crabtree Falls.
Crabtree
and
Falls.
they got
It is
a natural cold tub in there.
Okay.
Yeah, you just
It's
get
a
right
really-
in there,
it's a
cold
really
tub
great-
it up to get rid of all your soreness.
far is that
everything
from
in your
here?
back. Oh, what's
Like
45 minutes?
45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, Crabtree Falls.
How are you guys keeping, or how are you keeping the guys locked in during this stretch and really just navigating this weird schedule?
You know, it has been challenging just because you're in theory, you're routine based, right? And so once we got into midweeks, we know we're out of a different routine, but you try to make sure the days are, hey, your Mondays, and whatever day it is. And missing the App State game really set us back just because of we practiced 5 straight days and then you don't play. And then you practice in really almost 8 more days until your next game, which was on a Tuesday. So that really threw the guys off. So what we've worked hard on is having a couple of days where we worked on ourselves and then not doing really anything except maybe conditioning or lifting, and then back at working on ourselves and then trying to set up the time frame to where, all right, this is a Monday, whether it would have been on a Thursday, and build back from there. And so that has been harder than it was last year, just because of last year you played a game and then you had to turn around and play another one real quick, so you didn't really have time to think about it. And then you were now it was we miss a game and then you're off for 10 more days, and now we're off again for 13 more days.
I wish I would get a day off around here.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it is just
From that standpoint, it's been hard because you as a coach, you want a rhythm, you want a routine that they're in, what they're used to, and we've been out of it. But nobody cares, and so you got to figure it out. And so that's what
you guys have been
we've worked.
figuring it out.
So that's what we've been working on, and I think we had some. We had good practice leading up to our last game, and did some good stuff, and obviously some things we need to improve, and finished that one, got that wiped off, and let the guys have a couple Saturday, Sunday away, and then today was really good. So we're heading forward.
I'm sure you had expectations of what this team would look like on the field, right, going into the season. You're 5-0. Have those expectations changed at all? Not in terms of winning, but in terms of how you go about getting there within a game?
I don't know if they've changed. It's more so I think the hardest part that I've seen that I think our team deals with is you mentioned the 5-0, but on the outside that's not good enough because you've not won by 50 or you've not been dominant. And I think our team feels that a lot, right? And as the head coach, our ultimate goal was we just got to find a way to win, and sometimes it's not been pretty, right? We've had moments where we look great, but those moments aren't as much as I think as a coach and staff would like to be consistent, right? And so I think we've made strides in the type of team I think we can be in all phases, but if we've done that where you feel confident that we're that all the time, we've not shown that for whatever reason, whether that's the ups and downs of the season, whether that's maybe not playing up to the level we're capable of on either side of the ball consistently. But I think the outside thing is probably social media, maybe family, friends, whatever it may be. I think that's been a little bit more challenging than to the team than I'd hoped it would have been. Really worked hard. We worked hard on not making that, hey, this is our ultimate goal, a playoff or whatever, because I knew what those that expectations would be. And I know how hard it is after you've had a lot of success. It's hard to continue to climb and reach that same level because there's a natural complacency that steps in. There's a natural, why aren't you winning by this? We're feeling that a little bit, I believe, and so hopefully getting away will help us.
It's easy to say, because we saw the second half against ECU, right? And that was a stretch where you're like, whoa, okay, maybe this it's all coming together.
That's what we're capable of.
Right. Is it oversimplifying it, saying well, maybe you play to the level of your competition? That's a cliche you hear thrown out a lot. Is that something that you feel like is a concern or something you've seen within the team? Because you did step up against ECU. We didn't get to find out against App State. But you look at the schedule, and within Conference USA, you're like, well, yeah, just on paper, you feel like, okay.
And really in overtime at FIU, when you said, I looked down the sideline and those guys had the confidence that they were going to win the game. So it's finding that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easy to say that, and because that's the way it looks. I mean, that's the way it looks. I mean, if we've whether we've struggled or or hey, I choose to look at it. You found a way.
Right.
You know, those other teams have maybe when they go play other people, they're getting blown out or vice versa. And so maybe there is part of that we look and say, hey, oh, we're better than this, but we work hard on not approaching games that way.
Right.
You know, and so I hope that's not the case. I hope it's more so that it's just coaches have just not done a good enough job preparing. I hope our team's mindset is, hey, we've got to play well consistently. And we'll show strides of that for whatever reason, no matter who we're playing, even in ECU, we're down 17-0.
With the turnover, going in. Like you're fortunate they missed that field goal, or else you're in a real.
Or who knows?
You're in a tough spot.
Could be down 24-0. Right. And so that'd just be even a better story coming back from 24.
Yeah, exactly.
There's something that, whether that's a killer instinct, whether that's maturity, whether that's leadership among our team, that we allow ourselves to be put in a position before we really buckle. You know, and I mean, even if you look at last week's game, 17-10, you're getting ready to go up 24-10. You fumble on the one, you still go up 24-10. You're in the fourth quarter. All you need is a stop. You know, and you get the ball back, you can either run it out, go score again, and you're probably feeling way better if it's even if it's a 24-17 and whatever. But you're up 24-10, and then you give up a touchdown, and then you go 3 and out, and then you 24-24, and then you know, and so there's a lot of things you can look back on if maybe you execute here or just get a stop here. I think on that, when it's 24-10, they got 2 4th-down conversions where we had a chance to get them off the field. You don't. I mean, maybe you're feeling way better after back-to-back games if you win by 11 points or whatever. Was it 35-24? What did we beat East Carolina? I can't remember. But whatever it was. And then you win back-to-back. I think it was double digits. You probably
feeling better.
You're feeling better, but maybe the outside's feeling better too.
Right.
Oh, hey, but now it's because everybody compares, you know, and I tell comparison's the enemy of greatness, you know, and I think there's a comparison piece of what you think you should be, comparison piece to what you were this year, and this team's still finding out who they are and what they're about a little bit, but I do think if you take all that in, the early game flying, you know, the 2:30 kick and then the East Carolina 2:30 kick and not playing and all that, there's been a lot of things that we've had to navigate. It's not been normal.
Well, that's what we've said. There's a lot of teams that they slip up along the way. You know what I mean? So despite what it looks like, not a lot of teams find a way like you guys have.
Yeah, and that's what ultimately you get paid to do is it doesn't know necessarily how it looks all the time. It's about, is it a W or not? And so fortunately we have been. Obviously, as the head coach, I know there's things that we know we can be better at, and I think we'll. I think I think knowing now that we're in this, unless there's another natural disaster, Lord willing, hopefully nothing. We know what our schedule is. We know what our routine is now. Hopefully, we're into that, and our guys can settle down in that a little bit, and knowing this is how we're practicing, this is the days we're practicing, and we can move forward and get them in where they're comfortable knowing what to expect a little bit, because that is challenging if you played before.
So with that being said, about when you talked about how, hey, we had some extra time, or almost a lot of extra time, and you're able to sort of self-reflect, self-scout yourselves, what have you found out about your football team from an inside self-analysis that says, okay, here's where we're good, here's where we're really good, here's where we're not so good, here's where we're bad? Like, where do you see the direction of the football team right now when you self-scout you?
Well, I think first of all, you look at from a coaching standpoint. Hey, what have we done well or done to put our players in position to be successful? What have we haven't? You know, if you're looking from a head coach, purely, have we been as aggressive as we've been in the past? Probably not. You know, and I think I need to show more trust in our team, more trust in our players to go out and make plays by being, you know, maybe more aggressive from the get-go instead of playing it sort of how the game flows.
Yeah,
right?
Feeling it out more.
Yeah, feeling it out a little bit. And so that's one of the things from a coaching standpoint you look at. Two, we do know that when the backs are against the wall, we're able to focus and lock in and play at a higher level. So what can we do to make sure our backs are against the wall from the get-go, meaning as we show up?
Right.
And so those are things that we've worked on, talked about. And then in the day, too, I think one of the things, if you just look solely at the way we play from a fundamental standpoint, little fundamental things, whether that's on offense, catching the snap, whether that's lining up side, little fundamental things have slipped. And again, that comes back on me. And so those are things that when you have extra time, you can really harp on, focus on, and make sure that those things don't beat you going forward. And they've not beat us, but they should have in some certain ways. And so if we can clean those things up, we can be more aggressive and play consistently, then we'll be better.
I know you guys have battled some injuries, but 5 games in, I wish our offense could be more blank the rest of the season. What would you fill in that blank with?
I would just say consistent. I think when you've seen us execute out, and play the way we're capable, not we're scoring every time, but we move the ball. I mean, every game, if you look at it, we've had over 400 yards of offense, and we've had opportunities to put points on the board. We've either shot ourselves in the foot with the penalties. Even last week, we're up, we're 10-10 or up 17-10, and we get a false start, and then we get a holding penalty right back to back. And we go from 1st and 10 at the 40-something yard line to 1st and 25. Those are things FIU didn't do to us or anybody does. That's what we're doing to ourselves. And so if we can just be more consistent, we have to score every time, but if we can be more consistent, I think we can put up tremendous numbers because we've shown that when we're locked in and doing that. And so we just need consistency from all areas, backfield, wide receivers, tight ends up front. Just consistency of playing every single down and not beating ourselves.
Do we have an update on Reese Smith? Do we know what it looks like for him?
Not completely. We did avoid a major injury, which is good.
Oh,
so, they always tell you 2 to 4 weeks.
Obviously, with his history, everybody saw him go down. Everyone's like, you just feel for the kid.
Which I originally I thought it was his hurt knee, but it wasn't. It was his other one. It was the other one, and so did avoid a major injury, and so it's more now the 2 to 4. But is it closer to 4? Is it closer to? We don't know. Now you obviously got, that happened Tuesday, so you have basically 2 weeks before the first one before Kennesaw, and then you've got so we got a window hopefully to get him back. We'll see again if he's not 100, we'll hold him. Hopefully we can get him 100 at some point. But from what we've been told, as long as there's no setbacks, he should be back.
Oh, that's great news.
It looked bad.
I was really nervous there.
And I think he thought that too.
And you could tell when he first
But I thought it was his first knee.
Yeah.
Or not his first knee. He's got 3 knees. No, like his first child. I thought it was his the hurt knee because he's hurt it twice. And I was like, man, that's the 3rd one. And then I was thinking, well, maybe it's just scar tissue because anytime you get hurt, and I was like, oh, it's a positive. And then, MRI and stuff.
We on this show just to speculate recklessly on those things. So we've been throwing out all kinds of diagnoses.
It looked bad.
Because when
glad to clear that up.
Maybe we should get a local doctor to come in and say, well, this is what I think it looks like.
Right.
Yeah. No, I was looking at the picture from the feature, and then what you were saying, I'm like, I don't think it's the same. But then, like you said, I was nervous, oh, could he have done the same thing? So that's great news. I think I cut you off whenever I was asking Coach about fill in the blank.
No, that's good. Coach, I've been thinking about this one for a long time, so bear with me. Okay, so I gotta get my thoughts. I gotta get my thoughts out. So, how have you seen offensively when you go back to your days first starting coaching at North Greenville, whatnot, and you have this offensive mind? Okay, and you have Willie with you, obviously, and he's been with you a long time, Newland, other coaches. And you guys have always been very successful offensively. But and I've talked to Willie and Newland about this, you guys sort of have the ability of not to just get stuck in with this is how we're going to do it, and we're going to make it work this way. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You guys have always made little wrinkles and adapted and changes to how you've done things. Mm-hmm. And so now you've seen what you were here last year, okay? And then with what you are now, and I can see it from an analyst side, it's a little bit different. And then when I look at Caden and the success that he has, it's almost become more like, boy, he's comfortable getting the ball in the shotgun and throwing from the pocket. And when you were in East Carolina, you really attacked the edges outside with him throwing the football. Mm-hmm. And then, I can't remember if it was that game or another game, where it was he was in the pocket and you saw him read here, read there. You had a little mesh concept with Jenkins coming across, and he went 1, 2, 3, and then he went there and hit Jenkins, and he went up the sidelines. And it was like, oh, wow, this is what he's doing from the pocket is really working. Do you say to yourself and to your staff, like, hey, maybe we need to become more traditional than what we've been in the past to suit what you have at quarterback, especially where he seems to have a lot of success from the pocket? Is that something that you guys talk about, think about, or the direction that you're headed offensively?
Yeah, I always think you have your what you believe in, right? And then, but also you have to gear it toward what your players are doing well or what can they do well. And Caden's obviously made some improvements, so there's certain things you're doing there with him to help. Hey, this is what we think or know he's extremely good at. So we're gonna make sure the offense is more geared toward doing some of those things. But it also goes back to what are we executing? You know, he might be great at something, but if we don't have the personnel or we're not holding up front long enough or vice versa, you have to figure out, especially in how people are playing you as well. People are playing us way different this year than they did at all last year. Not one team that we've seen that we played the same last year has played us the same. It's been completely different. So there's certain things as you go into a game you think you want to do that you like, that you know we can do well, but then they're doing everything to take that away, and then you have to change, or I won't say change, but all right.
But does that mean they're gearing you more towards the run? Like, hey, this is a huge rushing team, and you say they change in how you're playing you. Are they saying, like, listen, if you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us, stand in the pocket, or you're going to beat us, we're not going to let them beat us on the ground?
What most people are doing this year is you're not going to beat us throwing the ball down the field.
You're not
giving up explosive plays. You're either going to throw hitches or we're going to let you hand it off, and we're going to see if you're patient enough to do it. That's what a lot of people are doing. And, you know, like the other night, we had a lot of RPOs called where we had an opportunity. We thought we was going to get the ball out. They would not let us do it at all from some of those standpoints. And so
they want you handed off.
They want to hand it off. They're going to say, we're just going to see if you can keep doing it, see if you can keep doing it, which nothing wrong with that if you can move the ball and you can win.
Right.
But then also, and then, you know, then the guys outside, hey, why am I blocking 50 times? You know, and there's a lot of things that go into that, right? And so, but I always think is you have your identity, what you want to be and who you are. Ultimately, you always have to be able to fall back on that because there's going to be some point that nothing's going to be able to work. You got to have something you know can always work, but you want to make sure you take advantage of what your skill set of your players are. And I think that's part of missing some of the one game and some of those things. We were building and going and getting, and then you miss a whole deal. And then now all that work that you put in, you wanted to see how it was going to produce in a game-like setting. I do think that hurt us a little bit from a rhythm, from a routine, from a confidence standpoint, you know, going forward. But that's how a lot of people are playing us right now. They don't want to give up a lot of the big stuff, so they're playing softer, and they're saying, hey, maybe they don't think our O-line is as good, or vice versa. So where last year they's giving us, hey, we got to load it up. We're giving us a lot of opportunities last year. This year, not as many. So I think that plays into it as well. But I think you do have to evolve all the time, but you never compromise what your belief is.
Is that the reason, like, the tight ends haven't been as involved as a year ago? I think 5 total receptions for the tight end position. Are they just taking that away more so than they did a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, it could be part of it. You know, some of the way they're playing. Last year we did a lot of, you know, where you hitting the tight end right outside of the pocket, where the quarterback fakes the handoff and he's hitting the tight end. Some of those, and we had some certain play actions where they were more successful. For whatever reason, we've not used them as much. Or I would say they've been in there, we've not hit them as much. Maybe it's, you know, part of the progressions and some of those things. But we need to get them more involved. Obviously, they were way involved last year. But again, it goes back to how people are trying to play it certain ways as well. And when they play a light box, meaning they're saying, hey, we're going to give up this, we're going to come rally. We don't think you can do that.
Yeah.
And try to take away some of those easier throws and some of that. You know, you still want to find ways to get them touches, but also you got to get a W on the scoreboard too.
Sure.
Do you have
zone plays for Austin Henderson?
Do you have some guys that you're starting to build confidence in from a receiver standpoint, where it's like, you know what, they're taking away explosives, but I just want to give a guy a shot down the field. You know, like CJ was last year. It's like sometimes it's like you want to take it away, but I'm just going to throw the ball up there and go 50-50 with them and let them go make a play. Do you have some guys that you're starting to see as being a downfield threat that you can do that with?
I think we have people that capability. That Tyson Mobley's made some plays down the field, which we've been seeing. You know, Sibley's usually one. I know he missed the one the other day. You know, took a big shot, but he's one that there's there. I think one, we just got to probably call more in general. And then two, when there are opportunities there, we got to make them. You know, we got to make the plays, because we've had some that we've just missed or maybe not thrown. But I do think we're capable of that. I think you'll see us have more of those opportunities going forward.
I feel like we're putting you on the spot with these injury updates, but what about Juju and Brylan Green? Will they be available for that Kennesaw State game?
Brylan should be completely, because that'll be 3 weeks for him. Juju is out of his boot, so there's a good chance.
Okay.
There's a good chance.
But technically still get his points.
If not,
you know?
Should be definitely the next one. But there's a good chance that he should be, because he's been out since game one. So what is that, 6 weeks? And that's a lot of things too. You know, you've had some guys that are.
You get consistency, or
having some explosiveness and different. You know, Dante Lee had an unbelievable game versus East Carolina, and then he got injured in practice, and so he misses that game. He was in DC. You know, so a lot of the guys where there was a whether we counted on them, had good fall camps and we knew we were using them. A Juju and a Darius, we've had them for.
Yeah, they were both on my fantasy team.
2 games total.
Yeah.
2 games total. You know?
I'm feeling this.
Yeah, and so you know, and then Dante was a guy that, hey, he's got potential. Needed to learn how to practice, and then he got better every week, and then he an injury, you know, and so, but he's somebody that can really go downfield, you know, and those are things that. We've just not had any consistency from week to week on who's out there. And that takes a lot, especially from a quarterback, if you think about it. Who am I throwing to? And then we've had some, at O-line, we've had different rotations up there and different guys playing. So there's a lot of different things going there. But I think now that we're through it and we've sort of seen what works and what doesn't work, it gives you an idea to really settle in on this is who we are, this is what we can do, this is where these people need to be to go let us be better.
Really has been so much adversity between the late games, the injuries.
Within a game, I'll notice, and I think his title is Chief of Staff, I think, Brad Queen. Like, I'll notice from time to time, Brad comes up and kind of just, like, behind you, says something to you. What is he saying within a game? Is he sharing, like, wisdom? Is he giving you a, hey, I feel like we need to run this
ready
more?
For after the
Is
game?
it like, yeah, we've got, this stuffed animal we're going to light on fire in the locker room, it's all ready? Like, what is he telling you during this
Typically, there's a couple of things. One, he always goes, can you believe they employed Joe Yock? That's one.
Yeah. We're saying
Why is Joe Yock on the call?
Always says that.
That's across the board.
He's like, they can't get him to North Carolina anymore.
Right.
Sometimes,
that's fair.
Sometimes he's in charge of. We have a game plan, a protocol sheet in certain situations, like if we have the ball and how many timeouts the opposing team has, how much time can we run off? Yeah. Some of those things.
Oh,
and so
he's a math guy.
Math guy.
I would not have seen that coming. Yeah.
He's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And he'll just give it to me and go, here, I can't read it. That's what he tells me.
I wonder why I saw him on the sideline doing one of these, trying to
carry the two.
Had his shoes off. He is from Kentucky.
Right,
he's trying to count.
Yeah.
But so
shoes off.
Yeah, 1, 2. Count his toes too. Yeah. But those are things that. Those are things there. And then sometimes he tries to calm me down. Is
he the get back guy?
He's not necessarily
get back. You don't really have a get back guy.
If I'm
Queen's no get back
officials
guy.
Wise and saying certain things, you need to get back.
And he gets the point.
And he makes sure I don't show him the tablet, because it's real easy when you're watching the play and you think they missed it. Man, it's very easy to want to say, look.
Yeah.
And he makes sure do not do that.
Yeah.
So he keeps me out of trouble. And then lastly, it'll be like, hey, what do you want for post-game meal?
Right, that's good.
Coach, now
we needed a get back guy for Joe Yock after that Cooley call.
That's true. Coach, with that being said, you got worked up in that FIU game, and usually you see a coach get worked up, right? They get worked up, boom, they leave, it's over, they move on, right? You got worked up, and I was watching the whole time. You got worked up. You walked over here. And you're like, no, I'm not done being worked up yet. And you walk back over and you got worked up again. And then you went back, then you went over here. And then you're like, you know what, I'm really not done. And you went back to the referee, got worked up again. And I was thinking the whole time, like, dang, he is really upset about something.
He's getting his steps.
What's he so worked up about? What were you all worked up about in that situation? What happened there?
One Joey Oxenfloyd on the
Well, I just think there were. I think there
know.
were. I don't want to say several. I think there were a few calls that were questionable.
Okay.
And as a coach, you want to know, all right, why did you call it?
Yeah.
Okay, why did you call Cooley's? What did you
That was
see?
awful.
Like, what did you see? And then there was one of the completions they had on something. Their receiver pushed our guy, pushed him right in the face mask.
Yeah, okay.
So you see those things. Hey, why didn't you call it? What did you want it? So you can tell your guy, hey, why'd you call this? Or hey, they're telling you not to do this. You want explanations, And then like one of the things they took off the flag, they said there was no block for shot block.
Yeah.
Right.
They picked up the flag.
They picked up the flag. And, okay, why'd you pick it up? Well, one guy explained, well, it didn't matter in the play. I said, well, if it didn't matter in the play, then why'd you call a foul on us when it didn't matter because it was on the backside? And then so I got upset there.
Yeah.
And then they came in and explained something different. Okay, so more of you want to be able to communicate the obvious ones are obvious ones, but if they're not obvious, like the fourth down from us,
where he was short,
where they got the fourth down, where it looked short.
Yeah, that was what it was.
So it was the ball was on the 43 and a half or whatever. They had to get to the 44. Mm-hmm. Maybe they got to the 44.
They did
not.
But
the first down and 10,
he turned his back
when he got the first down and 10, the ball was on the 45.
Yeah.
I know they didn't get to the 45.
Right.
They might have got to the 44, but they didn't get to the 45. Well, we watched it up top, and it's obvious the ball was there. Well, show the video. I want and so there was a lot of those things. Like
the inconsistency.
It didn't look like they got it, and maybe I'm not saying they did get it or didn't, but I know they didn't get to the 45. You put the ball on the 45. And no shot he got to the 45. He didn't get a yard and a half on that quarterback. Little things like that.
Yeah.
What percentage of the time do you feel like you get an answer from an official where you go, oh, yeah, no, that's okay, thank you for that. And what percent are you like,
probably all
what
the
is
time.
that?
Probably all the time, but the percentage that I don't agree with it is 100. That's the problem.
Right, that's the
problem. It don't matter what they say, I don't agree with it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we got video evidence. No, you don't. So like, that's part of my problem.
Okay, all right. I've always wondered.
But that was the one that really like it. There's no way the ball's on the 40. It might have been a first down. I'm not debating that. But no way he got a yard and a half. Yeah. Like, no way. And then you're telling me
I don't even think you got it.
There's no telling me there's no video to show that.
Right.
Like,
how fired up were you at the Cooley thing was at the top 3 of most absurd things I'd ever seen. That was unbelievable.
It was, and then they go watch it at halftime, and he said he threw his shoulder in there, which he said, his explanation, it makes sense. He says, no matter what you do, if you come back towards the ball, I'm going to call a flag. He said, because
if you're facing the person?
He said, if you come back towards the ball, we're going to call a flag. That's what he said. No matter what you do, if you're going to come back towards the ball, towards the line of scrimmage, we're calling a flag. And I said, the guy was looking at him. Like
He's looking right at him. Like, what are you supposed to do?
But that's and so we're allowed to send video in. Yeah. So we send it in, so we'll see what they say.
Oh, they still haven't gotten back to you yet on that?
They wait, till after all the games. So we should probably get it tomorrow, I would assume.
Yeah, I'd love to hear the
they're not
explanation.
They're going to say it was a good call. They always do. So, but
do they ever come back to you and say? If they ever come back to you,
and say,
listen,
they'll say, hey, we
bad
shouldn't have
call.
called this, or hey, this was, or hey, we missed this. I mean, if it's the head of officials will do that, not the officials that were in the game, but the head that watches them all. He'll say stuff like that.
Last one for me. I know it feels like, again, we're 5-0, and it feels like it's a lot of I don't know what's going on. What have you enjoyed most about this team and this group? Like, what they're different, right? Every year's different. What do you enjoy most about this group?
I think just knowing they do have a fight. They do have a strong belief that hey, they're going to figure it out, and so I never think we're out of one. I love that about them. They don't think they're out of one, even when it looks ugly. Sometimes you're like, what in the world is going? I mean, we've had some that look ugly. We've been down a lot of games. I don't know if there's been one where we've just really just taken a hold of a game from the get-go, but I love that they have that fight and belief in themselves, and that's hard to get. Awesome. I mean, it's hard to get, and and what we're realizing, we've shared, is you're getting everybody's best. Everybody's best is because of the pedestal you're on, or vice versa, whatever it may be. We're not Alabama, we're Liberty, but that's how you're viewed. And when everybody we want Bama, for a long time, we're viewed that way a little bit. Whether that's because of social media, whether that's because of past success, whether that's because of what we perceive have. There's that, And so when you're getting everybody's best, none of those other people, when they leave out here, go, man, we played our worst game. They're all like, man, we played really well, right? Yeah. And so just knowing that we're taking those shots and still finding a way. So I love that about the team. Now we as a coach, we got to figure out how can we compete more with a chip on our shoulder. People coming in with a chip, we need to have that chip on ours to go, pursue something.
And we talked about playing down to the competition. What is it? The next 4 games?
Next 4 games, 5-19 total record. So it's not about you talk about forgetting who you're playing, as your coaches talk about faceless opponent or whatever. It's more about
you're not playing very
you
good
guys
teams,
and holding, playing to your standard than it is.
Which it always, always is, and that's the hardest part because, kids are active on social media. They see they see everything, and so no matter what you do, you got to have strong leadership in within that room because we can talk till we're blue in the face about. It's always about us, and that's what it's really a nameless opponent. We talk about all the time. It's Liberty versus Liberty, like our best, and that's what we're pursuing. It's just our best game, and I can live with us playing our best and not doing well, meaning winning. I can live with that because I know, man, what else can you do? Yeah. It's the ones that there's more out there, and as a coach, I get frustrated really with myself because ultimately I'm the one that's responsible for the whole thing. Is why am I not getting the most out of this team, and I still think there's more for us to get out of, and so we got to figure that out. But as we told our coaches, I think with the expectation of what you have for your team and your program, I looked at Alabama last year. Alabama goes 12-2 last year. They beat a 3-9 Arkansas team, 24-21. They beat a Auburn team that finished 6-7 on a last-minute Hail Mary, and so everybody that has dreams and goals of being a really, really high-level team, they go through hard games. Yeah. And so I think the value of us still finding ways to win is important, but I think that gets overlooked because I think there's this expectation that the players have on themselves and everybody does. And so I've got to do a better job of making sure we just keep focused on continue to get better.
You talk about expectations. You're going to be fighting those next year when you can't go to all these fall festivals again, and you've got to say, "Babe, I've got a game this week. This is normal schedule. It's not always going to be like that."
Fair.
You got anything else? Because I have one more important one.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Aaron Fenimore is going to try to defend his title in the pie eating contest this year. I need 2 of your best contestants that can give him a run for his money in that. Well, I guess you're allowed to pay. I was going to say, not really run for your money,
Hey,
NIL. We could, see if Libby's can sponsor this.
Let's see, that can eat the most. What kind of pie?
Well,
it's most fastest. It's one pie. Who can finish it first?
The most in I think we do 2 minutes.
It's like calling a play right now.
And we usually get a DB or someone that can, that's skinnier, that can eat a lot or
I would try. I'd try Marius, the Germinator.
Okay.
I would try him.
Germinator.
Okay.
Yeah, I would try him because he actually won our donut eat contest.
Okay. This
has
sounds.
a reputation.
And then one more. Give me a thinner guy that can really put down a lot of food.
Thinner guy that can really put down a lot of food. I would.
I think it's apple. Do we usually do apple pie?
The whole thing's disgusting.
Oh my gosh,
just eating that pie. It's oh my gosh, that looks awful.
Skinnier guy can put down a lot of food. Try, I'm trying to think of his receiver DB.
Okay.
I got a couple guys I'm thinking about that is just funny.
Go ahead, throw them out there. Just throw a couple out there.
Do Elijah Hopkins.
Okay.
Hopkins. Okay, and then maybe we can even throw in a coach this year. Have a coach No, I'm kidding. Coach, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
You want to host it?
Pie eating contest?
The pie eating contest.
Alcova Mortgage can power it. We can power it.
Okay, buy the pies.
Yeah, we'll buy it.
Thanks so much for watching and listening. Coach, you were great, as always.
Thanks, Coach.
Flames. Gotta love Coach Chadwell. He has, so much time in his schedule right now. So we figured, let's fill it with the Flame Central podcast. So thank you, Coach, for coming on.
You know what Brad Queen did do during the game?
What's that?
He did lean over and go, Monday, Flame Central podcast.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Yeah.
You're on. So we got him.
We got him.
I think that one question that Joe had to Coach Chadwell set a new record. And he did give us a little warning before.
I warned you.
But that might have hit 206.
Yeah, I'll time it.
But
that's fair. But I mean, I was thinking about it for a long time. I was like, how do I get?
And you're thinking about it while you were asking it.
No, I wasn't.
No, don't. You don't have to take that, Joe.
I'm not going to take that.
I'm not going to
take that. The question was framed very well. You know what? I bet in his mind he was thinking, excellent question, unlike what some people get said. Unlike what they say about some people's questions.
I forgot to tell him. Usually I like to tell our guests before they come on, hey, when Joe and I ask a question, say, that's a great question. Don't say it when Emily asks.
Whatever. Okay. I'm pretty sure he knew what question you were asking in the first 30 seconds, but you added on another 90. Okay, we have some great news coming out of the NFL. Demario Douglas, first career touchdown. He had a career high
in yards, too. 92 of them.
92 yards.
It's amazing what happens when they put a quarterback in there,
right?
Huh?
Yeah.
Little guy by the name of Drake May from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, to the guy named Demario Douglas from Liberty University. You put two great schools together, and great things happen, baby.
I'll tell you this, though. If you're Demario, you're like, ooh.
Thank you very much.
We've got a little connection here. How good is that? Like, he's looking for me a lot. 9 targets in that game. Like, okay, let's go. He now leads Demario in the team in receptions and yards on the year.
Yeah, watch. Demario Douglas gonna have a fantastic year. I mean, I get where the Patriots coming from. They had the Jacoby Brissett, NC State guy, by the way. Jacoby Brissett, they had him at the beginning. Well, Drake May's throwing more touchdown passes in his first game than Jacoby Brissett threw in 5 games.
Right.
Or 4 games, whatever it
was.
So, yes. Oh, Demario Douglas. Pop, baby. You got a QB, and you getting ready to play some ball, and I love it.
Yeah. Congratulations to him. We'll keep you in the loop. We have a story coming out on him at some point in the next couple months, so be on the lookout for that. What else do we have coming out for Flame Central? Jacob Jenkins?
This week, story on Jacob Jenkins, the tight end who grew up on the mission field in the Dominican Republic, so
really
a little bit different background there. I think we're going to have a players' lounge this week as well.
Oh, boy.
So I think we're going to get to meet Talon Peter, one of the new transfers. By the way, we should mention, preseason polls came out since we last spoke.
Quickly.
Men's basketball picked tied for 5th. You think there's not going to be a little chip on the shoulder of these Flames? I'm telling you.
The lowest projected ranking since Richie McKay.
Richie's first year back here.
Returned back in 2015.
That's what it should be.
Right.
That's what it should be. I mean, when you transferred last year, you weren't very good, so you're in 5th. Yeah. I got no problem with that.
I think Richie is going to love that.
Yeah, he's going to love it. Go out there and compete. And got all these more athletic basketball team. You know,
Cleveland, Matheny both picked preseason all conference. And
really?
Then on the women's side, women picked preseason seconds. And Smuda, Asia Boone, Smuda Matata. Smuda, Asia Boone, and who's the third? Emma Hess. Thank you, Doug. Emma Hess, all preseason, all conference.
Awesome. I can't believe, November 4th, the men, I don't remember when the women tip, but I think the men tip off November 4th in
Ohio.
I think my favorite coach to see just randomly around is Kerry Green.
And you will see him randomly around.
I saw him the other day.
Were you fishing somewhere?
No, I wasn't fishing. But I saw him, and Kerry Green's just like that, so laid back.
I love him.
He looked at me, I said, Coach. He looked at me, he said, Joe.
Yeah.
Just a little head nod. That's up.
When you're done with Kerry Green's son, you don't have to try to prove anything to anyone. It's like, this is just who I am.
I love that.
And I'm just going to keep doing what I do. And why change it?
Shifting gears back to the gridiron, the Flames will take on Kennesaw State, a winless Owls team on Wednesday.
Before you shift
Kennesaw
back to
State is not great. Obviously, they're transitioning their first year in the conference. And were they coming up from FCS?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Okay. Here's some of their numbers. I know Matt Warner usually does this, but
you doing numbers?
We're taping a little later this year.
Aaron's doing numbers?
Today.
Wait.
So,
okay,
why are you trying to steal Matt's thunder?
Kennesaw State, do you want to read it?
No, you don't. Whatever.
Kennesaw State has rushed for a total of 617 yards. Their opponents have 1,017 yards. So big difference in.
Didn't know you were doing this, but that's fine. Whatever. No, you got the numbers.
Go,
please. Go ahead.
Right. Total passing yards, Kennesaw State, 653 on the year. Their opponents double that at 1,217. So it is
option team. They're an option team. So, yeah, they won't throw it a lot. But no, you do the numbers.
No,
please. By all means,
Yeah, can
Okay.
you take over the numbers.
Okay, let
We've
me
done this
just say
podcast
something
for 3
real quick.
years.
They're an
I've been the numbers guy, but now you just feel free.
Hey, let me just tell you, Flames Nation, they're an option team and they're throwing the ball more yards than they're rushing the ball.
Well,
So
they haven't been
looks
rushing.
like that option isn't really working out for them.
That's why they're winless.
I wonder if they have a Owls fantasy draft because I would pick all receivers on it.
We better get to bowl predictions. I think it's time.
Bowl predictions?
Bowl
Do you have
predictions.
anything else on the Owls?
Nope, that's it.
That's
Different owl. That's
Wow.
a different owl.
I
That's
actually
a
had 3
FAU
chins
owl.
in that.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Getting the winner a little too soon.
Ooh. Soup season.
Off the
Bowl predictions.
Off the
I'll
Bowl
start.
predictions.
Why don't I
Bowl
start?
predictions. Yeah.
I'll take Liberty. This
Are
goes-
you mad I did the numbers?
No. You did
What's
great.
wrong?
No, you did great.
Were
did
you
great.
going to do
Yeah,
those
that's great.
numbers?
No, you did
It was
great.
great.
You did great. Bowl prediction. This
I'm
goes
glad-
into our
honestly,
Snell
I'm glad-
scoring
I'm
system.
glad you did it. Change it up a little bit. It's good.
Did I do bad at the
No,
numbers?
no,
What
no,
were
You
your
did fine.
numbers?
I didn't put even numbers down, so you did great. You did great.
Oh my gosh, you guys are really
Yeah.
ganging up on me today.
Liberty 38-10. Treon Sibley over 100 yards, 2 TDs.
Go. You're up,
Oh,
Emily.
that's yours?
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Go ahead, Joe.
You're right. Okay. I'm going to say Liberty 48-10.
48.
We need a blowout win.
Yeah.
And we're going to get it right here. We haven't had one, and we need one. It's going to happen. And I'm going to say that why stop the train now when the locomotive is headed down the tracks?
Shut out.
And that is, no, I said 10, 48-10. Right. Yeah, we're not going to let that one die, are we? No.
I'm completely ignoring you guys.
48-10, 48-10.
I hate
and
both of
Emily
you.
just told me Liberty shuts them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm going to go Quentin Cooley, 4 touchdowns.
Wow. Why not?
Why not? He's rolling. Let's keep him rolling.
What a season, by the way. I know we almost
How many
look
yards
over
does
that.
Cooley got right now?
I'll look that up.
Look that
But, like,
number up.
We almost overlook it. All we talk about.
Doing math on her calculator.
I'm trying.
Wait
I
a
gotta
minute.
really make
Doing
sure.
math on her
I'm
calculator.
just doing some math about sprinkling a couple.
21. How many times is 7 going to 21? Can I do that?
I hate both of you. Another note: kicker Nick Brown is no longer
On the roster.
So
Cooley this year, 545 yards rushing, 6 TDs. He's averaging 6.6 yards per carry.
How many games have he played? 5?
5.
Okay.
So yeah, he's a solid year. Your bold
all right,
prediction,
so
Em. I
I'm
see
gonna
the wheels
do
turning.
Mobley. Okay?
Okay.
Like Mobley is gonna have a big game.
Okay.
Please have a big game.
That big game's got to be 3 touchdowns.
And then I'm gonna do Mobley has 2 touchdowns, and then a tight end will score a touchdown
Okay.
because we haven't had a tight end score a touchdown all season.
First game.
So
back
that
in
is
hand
a
shot.
bold. Okay, hand shot 1.
So what's the score? 14. Liberty scores 14.
I'll do.
No one else enjoys this nearly as
Kennesaw
much as we
scores
do.
2 touchdowns. Liberty wins 21-10.
Yeah.
45-17.
45-17. Okay, there you go.
Gosh,
That
I'm
joke.
never doing the numbers. I was trying to help because we had a little extra time.
That's fine.
Matt had a lot on his plate
It was
this
fine.
morning.
It's fine.
He's doing 2 features for the show.
I just thought you'd just let me know. If you're wanting to take over, it's fine. Let's not do this here.
Do this.
All right.
Take this off.
Yeah.
Thank you
Hey, guys.
so much.
Is this it?
This is it.
This is it.
Hey guys, just want to say thank you so much for joining the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage.
Thursday show
And
next week.
we Thursday shows next week.
Yeah.
We look forward
Yeah.
to hearing back from you guys again.
Thank
No
you.
mailbag?
No mailbag.
No mailbag. Flame Central podcast. Go Flame!
Go. Good to mix it up.
See you guys.
Yeah.